Hello everybody. So when I'm not making videos, one of the things I like to do is draw. Mainly character design kind of drawing. And it's mostly around, Marvel comic book characters. Because of this, I thought I'd share my own takes on some of them with you. But before we do that, I want to explain a little bit about my experiences. Looking at a couple tutorial videos, I learned about consistency theory. It's where you use logos, design, and color that give your character a personality. For example, with Spider-Man, normally if your story is more darker and maybe edgy, they might use maybe messier webbing, maybe more complicated logos with more angles and points. They also might want to consider using like darker colors and maybe less saturated colors. But if it's more light-hearted, then maybe you want to simplify your logos and use more cleaner webbing and more lighter or more saturated colors. Then there's another advice called color limitation, using 2 to 4, not including skin tones or black or white, unless either one of those two is going to play a huge part. I learned some of that from this video, how to design your own Spider-Man OC suit. Thinking about the advice and suggestions, it did give me some things to think about. Alright, let's get on with some of my designs. So, this first suit here is loosely based on the homemade suit from Spider-Man Homecoming. As you can see here, the shirt is basically a raglan shirt with a red torso and blue arms, which kind of looks like a traditional Spider-Man shirt. And then those boots, I drew this a long time ago, so I can't completely remember, but I think those are based on, like, motorcycle boots. I just really liked the photo that I was referencing while drawing those. Maybe something that he could easily slip on and attach the straps. On the back, while it's just red like the front, it has a drawn logo and web patterns all done with a Sharpie. Kind of like how the front is, especially the gloves and the mask. While the colors are inconsistent, this is meant to be sort of like a prototype suit before he can, make his traditional comic book suit. Using materials that he has overall in order for it to be as close to what he originally wanted when designing it. Moving on to the next suit, this one was loosely inspired by an artist called Duck Lord Ethan, who had a classic redesign of using 1 shade of red and 3 shades of blue. I quite liked that, so I made this. And then after that, I made another version of the suit with a less saturated red but still bright. And then on the next suit, this is where things get a little bit more complex. The medium blue and light blue almost cover up his dark legs and dark arms. I gotta say, I quite like this one, and if I was making my own Spider-Man series, I would definitely use this. At least for like a Season 1 suit. Kinda like how they change designs a little bit more in the movies. And then for another suit after this one, in maybe Season 2, 3, or maybe a couple more, there's this, where I repositioned the light blue, medium blue, and dark blue, changed their shades a little bit, and made the red parts of the suit a little more saturated and brighter. Again, these designs have 1 shade of red and 3 shades of blue. I thought, what if I swapped the two? And if I did that, it would probably give him a different personality. So I tried that for Scarlet Spider. And honestly, it makes sense on why he's called the Scarlet Spider. Then there's the Miles Morales incarnation of Spider-Man, and here I use another shade of black. I think adding another shade of the same color adds a nice style to it. It's probably been done before with regular suits, but a concept like this on comic book characters creates new designs. After thinking for a while, I noticed that if I were to do my own takes on the other Marvel characters, I have to keep doing what I did with Spider-Man. For example, there's Spider-Woman from the Ultimate Spider-Man comics. It's mainly just a red suit with a large white spider emblem, kinda like the classic symbiote from most comic books. For this design, it looks a little bit like the classic Spider-Man with only 2 shades of red and only 1 shade of white. There's also a couple of, white pads, I guess you could say, attached to her shoulders and thighs. Now, here's my take on Cyclops from the X-Men. For this design, I thought I would try out using 2 shades of yellow and 2 shades of blue. It's been quite a while since I looked at this, but now that I think about it, I noticed that the darker colors are kinda more like trim colors. And I'm kinda wondering, should I maybe go with 1 shade of yellow and 3 shades of blue in a similar way with my Spider-Man designs, in order to be just a little bit more consistent, or should I just keep going with something like this? Well, it's all about fun and experimenting. For my own take on Dr. Octopus, I drew a white lab coat because I thought it would reflect him more on being a mad scientist. For his mask, it's meant to be a reference to his traditional green and yellow armored suit. But then on this next picture where I drew him fighting Spider-Man, I just put the goggles back on his eyes. And I thought maybe I should redesign his green and yellow suit to see how that works with the mask. This is my take on Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, from the Fantastic Four. This is based on his appearance from the Ultimate Marvel comics, where he's younger from his traditional counterpart. Their costumes also have multiple shades of blue, so I did a couple variations of designs and where I should put these shades. Reed in the Ultimate Universe becomes a villain called the Maker. I have not yet done my own take on that, but I have been thinking about it. I was reading one of the Ultimate Fantastic Four comics, and I noticed that Reed was associating the whole team with 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water. And I had an idea of, what if the Fantastic Four were students of S.H.I.E.L.D. Academy before they started the official organization and had prototype suits? And I thought maybe they should have colors that are associated with those. You know, Ben is a humanoid rock, so which means you think of Earth. And the colors associated with Earth are brown and green. Since the Human Torch has fire abilities, obviously orange and red are associated with fire. With the Invisible Woman, she basically disappears into thin air, and the colors associated with it are blue, white, yellow, or gray. For Reed Richards, since he can stretch himself, it works kind of like flowing water, and the color associated with it is blue. So this is what I have so far for a prototype Invisible Woman suit as a S.H.I.E.L.D. Academy student. I've also read the Ultimate Spider-Man clone saga and noticed that Scorpion is one of them. I thought that was an interesting take considering spiders and scorpions are arachnids. You know how my Spider-Man designs have 1 shade of the first color and 3 of the second? Well, I tried swapping that, and green is the opposite of red on the color wheel. So in other words, some of my Scorpion designs use 3 shades of green and only 1 shade of blue. Even his logo designs have more complexity, giving him a more menacing appearance. In short, Scorpion here has a whole bunch of opposites of who Spider-Man is. Well, I think that should be it for this video. I plan on doing Human Torch, The Thing, and many other superheroes in the future. If you're an anime fan, I also made another drawing video where I draw myself in the fairy tale universe. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to smash that like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching this video.